chant. Let's go back. I'm gonna go off topic a little today. Let's chant the before Patanjali tells you about asana and pranayama and pratyahara, he tells you about what's going to be the obstacle that keeps you from attaining yoga, right? And that obstacle, when I first started practicing yoga, my teachers were not focused on it. I mean, they mentioned it. It was mentioned, but they didn't say, we really should stop and look at these things that he says keep you from achieving yoga. So turn on page 42, and we'll chant 2.3, which are the kleshas. So 3 ohms. Call and response. Avidya, avidya, asmita, asmita, raga, raga, devasya, devasya, biribesha, abiribesha, klesha, klesha. So, here again, we got those sandhis, those double A's, both at the beginning and the end. So one vowel the second vowel is going to become silent. Avidya, smita, raga, devasya, biribesha, klesha. Your turn. Avidya, smita, raga, devasya, biribesha, klesha. One time together. Avidya, smita, raga, devasya, biribesha, klesha. So Patanjali tells us, he says, look, there are these 5, and it's so simple because, and what I find so beautiful about it is that he tells you there are these 5 blocks that everyone has and nobody gets to escape them. Because you got a body and you got a human birth, it automatically came part and parcel, just you got it too. You got these 5 kleshas too, along with it, because you got a human mind, and the human mind projects onto things. So he says the first klesha is avidya. It can be translated to a lot of different things. Ignorance, but then I think as soon as you say avidya means ignorance, people shut down. I can't, every time I hear the word ignorant, I think of Michael Jackson saying, that's ignorant, right? I just hear that in my head every time I hear the word ignorant now that I saw that happen. And in reality, it really is a misidentification, that you're misidentifying something, which is you're misidentifying with, and he says, that's your first problem. You're misidentifying with stuff. Then asmita, egoism, because if you're misidentifying, your ego's involved. Then raga, the ego likes to only feel pleasure, right? So attachment to pleasure. You don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to experience any pain or suffering. So you just only want to focus on the good things. Devasya, you hate the things that challenge that idea of that misidentification. There is Miss Stephanie coming in. And then finally, a bidabesha, a fear of death. That if you were given a human body, you fear death. That's probably the hardest thing to overcome. I haven't talked about it much, but my first boyfriend in New York, I guess it's been about 5 weeks now, he passed away, right? He was very attached to his identity of a certain period in his youth. Like, and when I met him, I was much younger, and he was already in his early 40s when I met him. And and I remember the first time I met him, he had this wild curly afro. It was just, I mean, it was like, and he was a white guy, but he just had massively curly hair. And it was like this big 1970s afro. And we were right in the middle of the whole ACT UP movement. Remember that movement, ACT UP? And everybody had shaved their head and looked like a bowling ball. And so I met him, and here he was, this kind of throwback to, like, 1971, like, and all this hair and all this hippie. And so we started dating, and one day I said to him, I said, you really should kind of cut your hair and update everything. And I had short hair because I had that bowling ball look too, because I was identifying, I wasn't practicing yoga at the time. I was identifying with that whole ACT UP movement and get out there and protest. And he was like, well, he would play with it and like pull on the curls. And he was like, man, maybe I'll think about it. And so one day he said, I'm going to go get my hair cut. And I said, okay. And Fred went to the barber. He went to St. Mark's Barber, which is probably for somebody with curly hair is traumatizing already, because it's nothing but a bunch of barbers all sitting there going for $10 at the time, And he sat down in the chair, and the barber went, all these locks fell off his head. And he walked out, and I remember, I said, you look so different. You look younger, and wow, you look kind of like Rupert Everett now. And like a young Rupert Everett, and we walked out onto right there at St. Mark's, and he looked at me. He said, "Stop! Stop! Stop! Stop!" And I stopped, and I looked at him, and he went like this. He went, and there was nothing there. And then he just broke down in tears, he just started crying. He said, "My hair, it's all gone! It's all gone!" I said, Fred, it's not all gone. You just cut it off for the first time in years, And he never grew his hair back. He actually got to where he liked the short hair. But there was that moment of attachment to an identity that could change, right? It was going to change because finally, as he aged, he became bald. And he had a huge bald spot in the back. So it was going to change. But he wasn't ready to realize that it was going to change. And we're that way, that's the way humans are. We get ourselves attached to something that we feel comfortable with and that we start identifying with. And in the end, he points out, and that thing called abhidibhesha, the fear of death, is the fear of the physical body. He's really talking about the fear of this shell dying. And he's saying to us, look, stop identifying with the shell that's going to change. Stop identifying with this world around you that's always spinning. It's always spinning and changing. Start to ground yourself and identify with that element within you that doesn't change. And in this month, we've been focused on this idea of Bhagawan or Bhagavan. There's many different ways of pronouncing it, but it means that divine spirit and that essence that doesn't change. It's like being in the eye of the storm. And all yoga culture, if we can call it a culture, is trying to get us to identify with only that. And Patanjali goes on and says, if you can do that, if you can identify with that essence that's within, then all this other stuff that happens, if the hair coming off, or the losing of the BMW, or all that kind of stuff that can be such a tragedy for people, it's no longer a tragedy. It may be a setback somehow, but it's not the kind of challenge that it's going to be if you're attached to it. So yoga gets us to do these physical sadhanas and they're hard. But the other thing is that I can do them now, but maybe one day I can't do it, right? And then what am I going to do? Am I going to stop practicing yoga? No, I'm just going to shift the sadhana to something else, like meditation or mantra or going deeper into the studies, right? So that's a nice little thing to think about. Like, what are you identifying with? Come onto the hands and knees. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Tuck the toes under, push the seat back to the heels, lift the knees up, coming into downward facing dog. And connect to your ujjayi pranayama, your upward victorious breath. Let's set a metronome for the breath. The breath is really the start of the subtle essence of identifying with Bhagawan. Breath is spirit. And when you identify with breath, you identify with something a little more subtle than the gross anatomy or the gross body. So let's set a metronome for the breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, engage Mula Bandha, lift up at the pelvic floor. Keep that lift through the whole practice. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. On the inhale, come forward to a plank. And exhale the knees, the chest, the chin to the earth. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck toes under, seat back to heels, lift knees up, downward facing dog. Good, let's do that again. On the inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck the toes under, seat back to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, soften the knees, slowly walk the feet toward the hands. Keep the feet about hips width distance apart, hands about 6 to 8 inches in front of the feet, pressing the palms down. And if your knees are bending a little bit, put your hands on blocks. Exhale, 1. Inhale, good. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Exhale, bring the hands to the waist, elbows pointing up toward the ceiling. With straight legs, inhale, lift up and arch back, moving the pelvis forward a little bit, coming into a little bit of a back bend. Then exhale, come to upright, shoulders over hips. You can keep the feet apart for this. Then take the hands behind the back. Clasp the hands together in a fist. Bring the chin into the chest, and then lift the arms away from the back. I'm not going to pull too hard. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, lower the arms, release the hands. On the inhale, bring the arms alongside the ears and release the hands overhead into a fist. Then exhale, side bend over to the left. Stay. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, lift it upright. Exhale, side bend right. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, lift upright. And exhale, let the hands float down the side of the body. And step the feet together. Big toes and heels touch. Tadasana, mountain seat. Bring the hands together in undulating mudra. Set a higher intention for the sadhana today. Here again, maybe like finding that ability to identify with that essence within, seeing that within yourself, but then seeing that in all sentient beings. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana, mountain seat. Jiva Mukti Surya Namaskar with straight legs. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up and arch back. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, take arms behind back, clasp hands together in a fish, straighten arms and legs. Inhale, bend knees, hands down next to feet, step right foot all the way back, looking forward. Exhale, left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck toes under, seat back to heels, lift knees up, downward facing dog. On the inhale, lightly step right foot forward in between hands. Exhale, left foot next to the right, fold over the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, hook the thumbs, stand up, straighten the legs, arch back. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, take arms behind back, clasp hands together in a fish straighten. Inhale, bend knees, hands down next to feet, left foot steps all the way back with grace. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift the hips. Inhale, come forward with the breath. Exhale, bend the elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck toes under, seat to heels, downward dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward in between hands. Exhale, right foot meets left fold over legs. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, stand up, straighten legs, arch back. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana, mountain seat. Let's do that one again. On the inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, bend knees, fold forward, take arms behind back, clasp hands together in a fish straighten. Inhale, bend knees, hands down next to feet, right foot back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to the plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck toes under, seat to heels, downward facing dog. On the inhale, right foot steps forward. Exhale, left foot meets right, fold over legs. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, stand up, straighten legs, arch back. Exhale, bend knees, take arms behind back, clasp hands together in a fish straighten. Inhale, bend knees, hands down next to feet, left foot back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck toes under, push seat to heels, downward facing dog. On the inhale, left foot steps forward. Exhale, right foot meets left fold. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, stand up, straighten legs, arch back. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana, mountain seat. Step the feet hips width distance apart, about 2 fists. Bring the hands to the waist, elbows pointed to the wall behind you. Inhale, lift up and arch back, moving the pelvis forward. Come into a little bit of a back bend. Then exhale, fold forward and bend the knees. Reach down with the index finger and the middle finger. Grab the big toe in what's called yogi toe lock. So it's your peace sign fingers in here. Take your thumb right there and put it on the big toenail. Then inhale, look up and extend the legs. Lift the sit bones up. And then exhale, fold, bending the elbows out to the side, looking back at the wall behind you, breathing into the back. So the tummy has to pull in and up. Exhale, 1, inhale. Exhale, 2, inhale. Exhale, 3, inhale. Exhale, 4, inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, soften the knees, release the toes. Lift the front of the feet up and slide the hands underneath the feet. You want to get the palm completely underneath the foot so your toes are at the wrist crease. You may have to bend the knees a little bit to get there. Then look forward at the window. Shift a little weight forward into the front of the foot so you're not hanging out in the heel. Then extend the legs, lifting the sit bones up. And then exhale, fold forward. Bend the elbows out to the side. Breathe into the back. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Good. Inhale, soften the knees. Release the feet. Hands out from underneath the feet. Put the hands on the floor blocks. Heel toe the feet out as wide as the mat. Heels are going to be on the mat. Toes are going to be on the floor. Comes to a squat. You can sit on a block if you need to. That's perfectly fine. Bring the hands together. Press out with the forearms. Squeeze in with the knees. Now we're going to add a little bit of a twist to this. Reach the left arm over to the left. Put your left hand on the floor in front of your left shin. So a little reaching over to the side. Then lift your right arm up and point your right fingers toward where the wall meets the ceiling behind you and look at the right thumb. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Good. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Now option, you can bring your right arm behind you. Reach for your left hip. Rotate your left shoulder, bend your left elbow, and come into a bind behind the left hip. Or just stay here. Now, if the bind is a little rough for you, hey, listen, this belt will help. Exhale, 1. That's what you do right there. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, place the left hand down as you lift your right arm up. Then exhale, come back to center. Bring the hands together in prayer. Then bring the right arm in front of the right shin. Reach over to the right. Press the right palm down. So in front of your shin, Kenny, not behind you, in front. Bring this right arm up here, shoulder in front. There. Now lift your left arm up and twist. So this gives you a little pressure to actually do the twist. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Now on the inhale, bring the left arm behind you. Reach for the right hip. Then rotate the inward. No. That stays up there. Reach over here and grab that. And then rotate by pulling the belt. Exhale, 1. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, place the right hand down as you lift the left arm up. Exhale, bring the hands together in prayer at heart center. Inhale, place the hands down. Lift the hips up. Exhale, heel toe the feet, hips width distance apart. You can move the blocks forward if you need to, if you were sitting on a block. On the inhale, lift the head and chest halfway. Exhale, bring the hands to the waist, elbows pointing up to the ceiling. With straight legs, inhale, lift up and arch back by pressing down into your feet. Then exhale, come back to center, step, jump the feet together, big toes and heels touch. Tadasana, mountain seat. Good. On the inhale, bring the hands together in undulating mudra. Extend the arms up toward the sky. Urdhva Exhale, fold over straight legs. Uttanasana, palms into floor blocks. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step, jump, walk back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step right foot forward. Turn left heel down. Come up warrior 1 and stay in warrior 1. Exhale, pull the right hip back. Inhale. Exhale, left hip moves toward the windows. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders soften a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, open the arms and hips up to the left without moving the feet. Inhale, reach toward the windows. Pull the left hip back. Right hand down on right shin. Left arm lifts up. Triangle Trikonasana. So feet stay grounded. And as you lift up, you're going to extend through that right quadricep. Exhale, 1. Good. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, lift all the way up to stand. Then exhale, bend the right knee, warrior 2. Feet are going to stay grounded. Exhale, 1. Think about really connecting to the earth. Exhale, 2. You're grounding in the feet. Exhale, 3. You're stable. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, extend right leg. Exhale, rebend the right knee. Place the right hand down inside the right foot. Exhale, lift the left arm straight up into the air. Extended angle B. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Now the right hand is on the earth, so that's also stabilizing. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, place the left hand down. Come onto the ball of the left foot. Now lift the left heel up like you're in a lunge. Now put a little weight in your left hand. On the inhale, lift the right arm up into the air and twist and look over the right shoulder. So now left hand stabilizes. Exhale, 1. Sometimes it's called easy twist. Here again, subjective reality, right? It's easy for who? Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On your inhale, place the right hand down outside the right foot. Frame the right foot with both hands. Exhale, extend the right leg and bump the left foot forward till the heel is on the ground, about 6 to 8 inches. Now, using blocks if you need, lift the head and chest, energetically pull the energy up the front of the right leg, and exhale, fold forward. You have a choice. You can walk the arms toward the windows or you can walk the hands back. Both are correct. Exhale, 1. But you do want to extend through the knee joint. You want to lift the energy up through the legs. Exhale, 2. Either way with the arms. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, lift the head and chest. Exhale, bend the right knee, step back to a downward facing dog. So easy. Here again, subjective reality, right? On the inhale, step the left foot forward, turn the right heel down, come up warrior 1, and stay in warrior 1. Extend through the back of the right leg. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale, good. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, open the arms and hips up to the right. Inhale, reaching to the left, pulling the right hip back. Left hand on left shin, right arm reaches up. Trikonasana triangle. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, lift all the way up to stand. Then exhale, bend the left knee, Virabhadrasana 2, and stay. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. So check out what's happening in this knee. Exhale, 2, foot parallel. Bend the knee. Exhale, 3, squeeze at the glute. Exhale, 4, that's going to stabilize. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, extend left leg, 1 breath. Then exhale, rebend the left knee, left hand inside the left foot. Then right arm reaches up, extended angle B. Inhale, good. Exhale, 1. Inhale, try to put the left palm fully down. Exhale, 2. Really try to ground through the feet. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, place the right hand down. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Now put a little weight in the right hand, and I'll lift the left arm up into the air and twist. Look over the left shoulder. Here again, grounding. So Kenny, lift your right heel up like you're in a lunge. Exhale, 1. So the stance is a little more of a lunge foot. Exhale, 2. Inhale, good. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Now inhale, place the left hand down outside the left foot. Extend the left leg and move the right foot forward until the heel is on the ground. Now, blocks are terrific for this. You want to extend through the leg so you're pulling energy up the legs. Exhale, fold forward, walk the arms forward, walk the hands back. Both options are great, but do the same thing you did on the right side. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, lift the head and chest. Exhale, bend the left knee and step back to a downward facing dog. Good. On the inhale, come forward to a plank. Bring big toes and heels to touch. Now look at the wall in front of you. Come onto the right hand, the outside of the right foot. Stack the legs, stack the feet, lift the hips up to take the weight out of the hands. Side plank, Vaishishtasana. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale, gently come out to a plank. And exhale onto the left hand, the outside of the left foot. Raise the right arm up. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Good. Inhale, gently come out to a plank again. And exhale, the knees, the chest, the chin to the earth. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck the toes under, push seat back onto heels, then lift knees up, downward facing dog. Good for you. On the inhale, step the right foot forward in between the hands. Now exhale, push through the left heel, strong left leg. Shift weight into the right foot. On the inhale, lift the left foot off the floor. Standing split. Then exhale, fold over your straight right leg. Now, blocks are helpful here, especially if you're bending the knees. Pressing down, and my teacher, Sharon Gannon, she used to say, if you press down into the earth, you can lift out of it. So think of that. You're pressing down to lift up higher. Exhale, 1. That connection to the earth is what lifts you out of the earth. Exhale, 2. Inhale, good. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Look up, bend the left knee. Bring the left heel to the outside of the right hip, externally rotating the left leg. Then exhale, bring the left knee to the outside of the right foot and sit down like a curtsy. Yep. And both sit bones plug into the earth. And you want to make sure that you're not sitting on that left heel. On the inhale, lift the left arm up alongside the left ear. And exhale, twist. Is that a real tattoo? Oh, okay. Exhale, 1. I thought I never noticed that. Exhale, 1. It's cute that you got a little Om, though. Yeah. Exhale, 2. And a lotus flower. Exhale, 3. See, that's changing reality, too, because, you know, tattoos are semi-permanent. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. I mean, when you die, who cares if you got one? Come back to center and exhale, counter twist. But if you get like one of those little like stick-on tattoos, you can just change all the time. You don't have to be attached to anything. Inhale, come back to center. And let's set up for ankle to knee. Agni Stambhasana, stacking the shins. Moving the left shin forward, open up the right knee. Variation, you can always extend the left leg and then bend the left knee. Dorsiflex the feet, good. And then exhale, fold forward. That's getting better. And so now just breathe into the hip, good. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Good. Inhale. Lift the head and chest. Now, this is so easy. Lift your hips, squeeze your legs together, and bring the right knee on top of the left. So squeezing everything together, you can sit on a block if you need to. That's perfectly fine too. Okay? And then grab the big toes in yogi toe lock. And then lift the head and chest. And exhale, fold forward and bring the chin in front of the right knee for Gomukhasana or cow face seat. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Now, you can swing the right leg around, but if you want to, put the hands in front of you, lift the hips, and just flick off the toes and jump back to a chaturanga. You can also do that. Inhale, upward facing dog. Both are good. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the left foot forward in between the hands. Now exhale, push through the right heel. The right leg is strong. Shift weight into the left foot. On the inhale, lift the right foot off the floor, straightening the left leg. And then exhale, fold over the left leg. Blocks are terrific. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale, start to stabilize. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5, and inhale. Lift the head and chest. Bend the right knee. Open and stack the hips. So external rotation. Good. Exhale, bring the right knee outside the left foot like a curtsy. That's in front, behind you. No, that's in front. Now sit down. So like a curtsy. So I'm here, right? And I'm going to go here and just sit down. It takes a while to get. If you went to finishing school, inhale, lift the right arm up, and then exhale, twist. I went to finishing school. Exhale, 1. They threw me out for smoking. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, come back to center. Exhale, counter twist. Inhale, center, and exhale, ankle to knee. Move the right shin forward, stack the left shin on top of the right. Dorsiflex the feet. Lift the head and chest, and exhale, fold forward over the shins. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Good. Now lift the head and chest. Now cow face. Lift the hips. Squeeze the legs together. This time the left knee is on top of the right. Here again, if you need to sit on a block, do so. Just make a little space, especially if you have tight hips or tight abductors. Then grab the big toes in yogi toe lock, lift the head and chest. And exhale, fold forward, bring the chin in front of the left knee. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Good. Inhale. Lift the head and chest. Now, the same thing. You can either just take the hands in front of you, flick off the toes, jump back into a chaturanga, or swing the left leg around, step back to a downward dog. Both are great options. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, come forward to a plank, and exhale the knees, the chest, the chin to the earth. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, come seat to heels and come into a child seat for a little inversion time, okay? right here in the middle of the sadhana tonight. Interlace the fingers together, make a fist with the hands. Hey, listen, if you want to use a wall, I don't mind. Any prop you want to use, I don't mind. So don't be afraid to go to a wall if you need to do a headstand at a wall. Place the head on the floor behind the wrist crease. It's more important that you come upside down than if you use a prop or not. That's my key. You know, when you talk about moving subtle energy, it's more important that you're upside down. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees up. Start to walk the feet forward so the hips are over the shoulders. So walk forward a little bit more. Don't kick so much, okay? You don't want to kick too far back. Now lift one leg up and then come up with another leg. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now squeeze it together. Squeeze it together. All in the middle range, and you're going to pull your ribs in. So right now you're sticking those out, and that's going to throw you off. Right? So one of my theories about Vinyasa, I never heard anybody say this, but when you start thinking about how we move from one form to the other, and you do it fairly quickly and pretty rhythmically, like everything's like kind of a 5, 10, maybe a 15 breath count. There's something psychological about learning about changing the form over and over and over again, not attaching yourself to one particular form. Like in yin, you know how we can come into stuff, especially those of us who've taught yin, and like, you know, we'll do a pigeon and like somebody's like, oh, and they moan and they're like, oh, I love this. And you can just see they're just dying to attach themselves to that pigeon. And even when you come out of it, they're still in it, right? That's an attachment to form. So somehow the vinyasa helps us. If you need to come down, Kenny, you can. Come down, Grace. Yeah, there you go. Good for you. Somehow the vinyasa helps us to start to understand that we go from form to form without attachment. Now lift the hips and lift the legs. Good. And there's also something interesting if you think about those other 4 kleshas, that if you are unattached to the form, then you really don't have time to indulge in over pleasure or indulge in hatred. And you don't have time to really even like let the small personality ego get in the way, because you're accepting that the form's going to change and that you embrace this idea of letting go of the form. So the idea of something ending in a cycle doesn't terrify you. Gently come down. Rest in a child's seat, wherever you are. Good. And breathe. But I think the most toxic thing that like Master Patanjali talks about is hatred, right? And if you think about hatred, and this is something I've been thinking about in the past few years, watching the world spin the way it's been spinning, is there are a lot of people that attach their identity to their hatred. I never realized that there were so many people who did that. I knew there were people who hated, but I didn't know that they attach their identity to their hatred the way that they do. And I think that's probably my naivete, because you have to remember, I grew up in the deep South in Alabama, where there were some real serious racial problems. And people identified with, you know, their whiteness and all kinds of things and hated, but I kind of thought they were a dying breed, that they were not, that they were like, there was just something wrong with those people that I knew growing up as a child. But now I'm realizing there are a lot of people who their misidentification starts with their hatred of the other. And that sets them apart, and they think that makes them special, that feeds their ego. But here again, it's all avidya. It's the ignorance. Reach the arms forward, tuck the toes under, press into the hands, come back to a downward facing dog. Good for you. If you want to come back to the front of the room, wherever you want to land, that's perfectly fine. If you're at the wall, we'll just take a moment so you can adjust. Good. Come forward to a plank and exhale the knees, the chest, the chin to the earth. Press into the hands, slide forward, cobra, stay in cobra. Lift the hands off the floor. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Come down, relax. So, like, how do you deal with those beings that identify with their hatred? And that their hatred gives them an ego personality, right? That's kind of like the thing to ponder on as a yogi right now is how do you deal with that and those beings? And in reality, you know, the teachings, the wisdom teachings would tell us that even though we disagree with them and we may have to stand up for ourselves against them, we still have to see that divine essence within, whatever you want to call it, consciousness, the idea that they're a sentient being, that they're a child of God. Squeeze the legs together, reach the arms back toward the wall behind you. On the inhale, lift up. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Come down, relax. And that's not about a religion, but that's about understanding your own spirit. And I hear a lot of people trying to define the difference between spirit and soul. I don't really define one different than the other. Spirit and soul are somehow the same to me, but I may be wrong about that. But it's that essence within that, you know, you can't touch it physically, but it's there. And when we leave the body, it goes away. Like the breath. Bend the knees, reach back, grab the ankles. And on the inhale, kick the feet into the hands and lift up. Dhanurasana, seat of the bow. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, come down, release, relax. Bend the knees, reach back, grab the ankles. On the inhale, lift up. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Come down, relax. Let's throw a few more back bends in here. Bring the hands next to the chest, elbows close to the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the right foot forward in between the hands. Then drop to the left knee. Now, you can put a little blanket underneath the left knee. If you have a tender left knee, please do that. Then first, we're going to do a little Anjaneyasana. So once you have a little blanket underneath, you lift the torso up, place the hands on the right thigh, Just find the balance, shoulders over hips for a moment. Then allow the right knee to move forward toward the windows. You'll feel the stretch in the front of the left thigh. Target area quadricep of the left leg. Then raise the arms up alongside the ears. Interlace the fingers together. Get a little taller, a little longer through both sides of the body. And then exhale, arch back and move the hips forward a little bit. Target area, front of the left thigh, lower left abdomen. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Oh, you'll feel it also maybe in the right hip flexor in the inside. Exhale, 2. That's possible. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Yeah, and then place the hands on the floor. Now put a little weight in your left hand, okay? Point your right fingers toward the windows. Then point your right fingers toward the ceiling. Then point your right fingers back. Bend your left knee, reach back, grab the outside of your left foot with your right hand. And then kind of let your hips move toward the windows and look back over your right shoulder with a little bit of a lizard twist. Sometimes this is a lizard. Inhale. Watch this. Exhale, hold on to the outside. Now externally rotate that shoulder so that you're internally rotating. Oh, then you open the chest. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Gently release the left foot. Point the right fingers back toward the wall behind you. Then point the right fingers toward the ceiling. Then point the right fingers toward the windows. Then put the right hand down. Tuck the left toes under. Step back to a downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the left foot forward in between the hands. Then exhale, drop to the right knee. Here again, a little blanket action is nice if you had it on the other side. Then lift the torso up. Place the hands on the left thigh. You can go on and start moving your left knee toward the windows, opening up a little bit in the front of the right thigh. Then lift the arms up alongside the ears, interlace the fingers together, grow a little taller through both sides of the body, and begin to arch back, moving the hips toward the windows. Anjaneyasana. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. And inhale, lift the shoulders up. Place the hands on the floor. Now put a little weight into your right hand. Point your left fingers toward the windows. Then point your left fingers toward the ceiling. Then point your left fingers back toward the wall behind you. That way you have that opening in the left chest. Bend your right knee, reach back with your left hand, hold on to the outside of the right foot. Then let the chest open up to the left. You got a little twist going on here and a little back bend. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Shoulder, inhale. Exhale, 3. This is better. Exhale, 4. Now roll. Exhale, 4. Scapula down. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Now point the left fingers toward the wall behind you, releasing your right foot. Now point the left fingers up toward the ceiling. Now point the left fingers toward the windows. Put the left hand down, press into the hand, step back to a downward facing dog. On the inhale, come forward to a plank. And exhale through bent elbows all the way onto the abdomen. Roll over onto the back. And bend the knees, tickle the heels with the fingertips. Feet or hips width distance apart and parallel. On the inhale, lift the hips, the lower, the middle back. Clasp the hands together in a fist. Setu Bandha Asana. And then release the hands, come down the middle back, the lower back, and the hips. choices. I've been thinking about that whole idea about free will. Do we have free will? We don't. So you at least have two choices. You can either come into like half bridge or you can come into a full upward bow. I mean, I guess, it's kind of not free will because you only have two choices. There's not as many choices as you think. So place the hands next to the head. On the inhale, press into the hands and the feet and lift up. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Come down. So one thing, I think the flexion of your hand is wrong. So I would try this. Put your hand on a block and wrap your hand around that block. Watch this. This is going to be so much easier. Yeah. Now, second time, on the inhale, lift up. Now press into your heel of your hand and lift up. Better. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Doesn't that feel better? Exhale, 2. I think it looks better. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Bring the chin to the chest and come down the upper, the middle, the lower back. That was better. Doesn't it feel better on your hands a little bit? Okay. Now we're going to try one more thing here. All right. We'll see how this works. Well, a lot of times it's just getting things, put this right there. Now put your hands here. It's going to touch your forehead for a moment. On your inhale, press into the hands, lift up. And extend, Kenny. Extend through your shoulders. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Lift from here. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Bring the chin to the chest and come down the upper, the middle, the lower back. Okay. Let's do one more. This time, grab my ankles. Okay. Now think of just keeping this in so that it's more in line with the shoulder girdle. Okay. On the inhale, lift up. Okay. Exhale, there. Exhale, 1. Lift from here. Exhale, 2. Lift from your chest. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Bring the chin just come down. Good. That was better. Draw the knees into the chest. Give the knees a little hug. And then bring the knees over to the left. Extend the right arm out. Look over the right shoulder. And come back to center and go to the other side. And come back to center. Little happy baby. Draw the knees into the chest. Open up the knees and hold on to the outside of the feet. Just kind of try to get the head on the ground. Pull the feet down a little bit. toward the floor. Good. And so from here, we're going to rock up into Navasana, boat seat. So take the hands to the back of the knee joint and then bring the forehead toward the knees and then rock forward and rock back, rock forward and rock back. Find the sit bones and balance on the sit bones. You can hold on to the back of the knees or you can extend the arms and the legs and balance. Exhale 1. Both are good. Exhale 2. But you got to lift the chest to balance. Exhale 3, you got to squeeze your inner thigh muscles together. Exhale 4, inhale, it's all core. Exhale 5, inhale. Exhale 6, inhale. Exhale 7, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, put the heels on the ground, and extend the legs out in front of you. Then dorsiflex the feet, lift the head and chest, and exhale, fold forward, hold onto the feet. Paschimottanasana. Got to get a good forward fold in there. So Kenny, grab your belt behind you. Then that way you're not bending the knees. You want to extend through those legs because when you bend the knees, you're shortening your hamstring. That leg extension. We may find that the tightness in your asana may be coming from the lower back. You know, just thinking about how you ride a motorcycle, you're kind of crunched over and that would shorten and tighten that. Exhale 1, inhale. Exhale 2, inhale. Exhale 3, inhale. Exhale 4, inhale. Exhale 5, inhale. Exhale 6, inhale. Exhale 7, inhale. Exhale 8, inhale. Exhale 9, inhale. Exhale 10. On the inhale, lift the head and chest, good. And exhale, hands by the hips, Dandasana. On the inhale, bend the right knee into the chest. Exhale, open up the right knee, right foot on inside of left thigh, twist torso over left leg. Exhale, folding, holding onto the left foot. Janu Shirshasana, head knee seat. Inhale. Exhale 1, inhale. Exhale 2, inhale. Exhale 3, inhale. Exhale 4, inhale. Exhale 5. On the inhale, lift the head and chest as you lift the left knee up. Exhale, extend the left leg. On the inhale, bend the right knee. Exhale, open up the right knee, right foot on inside of left. Left foot on inside of right. Then dorsiflex and exhale, fold forward. Inhale. Exhale 1, inhale. Exhale 2, inhale. Exhale 3, inhale. Exhale 4, inhale. Exhale 5. On the inhale, lift the head and chest as you lift the left knee. Exhale, extend the left leg. A little tabletop. Bend in both the knees, put the feet on the floor about hips width distance apart, 2 fists. Hands behind you 6 to 8 inches, fingers pointing toward your feet. Yep. Then press into the hands. So bend the knees, Kenny, lift the hips. Exhale, let the head go back. Tabletop. Exhale 1, inhale. Exhale 2, inhale. Exhale 3, inhale. Exhale 4, inhale. Exhale 5, bring the chin to the chest and come down. And then open up the knees, bring the feet together. Move the heels a little closer to the pubic bone. And exhale, fold forward. Cobbler. Baddha Konasana. Inhale. Exhale 1, inhale. Exhale 2, inhale. Exhale 3, inhale. Exhale 4, inhale. Exhale 5, Inhale. Exhale 6. Inhale. Exhale 7. Inhale. Exhale 8. Inhale. Exhale 9. Inhale. Exhale 10. Inhale. Lift the head and chest. And options, you can lay down on the back with the knees out to the side, Supta Baddha Konasana. You can bring legs up the wall in Viparita Karani. Or you can come into shoulder stand. It looks like a anonymous consensus now. It's all, everybody's like, oh, reclining cobbler it is. I think that one of the things that's been interesting in my own sadhana, in losing my friend, is that I haven't had a lot. I have not experienced a lot of death in my life with people who were close to me. My grandparents, I lost them at a very when I was in college. So I dealt with that, and I think the weirdest thing about it is that every once in a while I wake up in the morning and I think, oh, I wonder how Fred's doing. Let me call him, and then I remember that he's not there, and that's a weird feeling. Because that's that moment of being attached to memories. Patanjali talks about that in the Yoga Sutras. He says that memory is one of the things that can trigger a klesha. That our memories, our past memories, trigger kleshas, along with dreams and thinking we know when we don't know. That's another one. And so observation of that is really just part of the sadhana, that happens and you become the witness to that. That the memory forgets and then it remembers, and that things have changed and cycles happen. And you're not really sure why they happened the way they happened, or why they're happening the way they're happening. And I don't know if you have to answer why. But according to Master Patanjali, you observe it, you become the witness to it. You stay on the sadhana like we talked about last month, and you detach from the outcome of that, and you observe it in detail, the smallest of details. Finally, he says, when you get to a point where the sadhana is really working, you are capable of sending the kleshas back to the source of the kleshas. That's how he puts it. I'm not really sure what he means by the source. The projection of the mind, maybe, or the idea of the principle of the attachment, maybe, I don't know. But it's able to go back to the source of it. If you're still in shoulder stand, let the toes touch the floor behind the head. Clasp the hands together and a fist. Extend the arms away from the body. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Bend the knees. Bring the knees alongside the ears. Karnapidasana. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Then place the hands on the floor. Slowly come down one vertebrae at a time until the hips touch the floor. And extend the legs out in front of you. And if you have legs at the wall or are still in Supta Baddha Konasana and you would like to experience Matsyasana with us, the seat of the fish, lay down on the back, turn the palms to face upward, press into the elbows, come onto the top of the head, breathe, inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5, inhale, exhale 6, inhale, exhale 7, inhale, exhale 8, inhale, exhale 9, inhale, exhale 10, press into the elbows, bring the chin into the chest and slowly come down. And let's set up for Shavasana, seat of the corpse. So you can now, and here again, like that idea of chanting those kleshas, and we come into corpse seat every time. Here again, just to remind ourselves that this is all finite. Laying down on the back, you can place a blanket underneath the knees, allow the breath to breathe the body. Let the body become heavy by letting go of Mula Bandha. Just allow the earth to support the weight of the body. Shavasana. Gently begin to deepen the breath. And as you deepen the breath, make small movements with the fingers and the toes. Stretch the arms overhead and stretch the arms and legs in opposite directions. Stretch the right side more than the left. Stretch the left side more than the right. And stretch both sides. And gently start to bend the knees into the chest. Give the knees a little hug. And roll over to the right. Just stay there for a second. Pressing the left palm into the earth, lift the torso up. And come up to a seated position for a very brief meditation practice. And sitting up tall, close the eyes. And allow the senses to come inward. And focus the mind. And as you go inward, allow yourself to experience that inner world instead of the external world. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bringing the hands together in undulating mudra, bowing the head slightly, sealing the sadhana, giving thanks and praise for the teachers and teachings of yoga from the past, the present, and still teachers and teachings yet to be revealed. Om Bolo Sadguru Bhagavan Ki. Jai. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I will see you next time. Thank you. It is getting darker. I went into my private like at 4 o'clock and I was like, the lights changed. I have to turn on the lights now. I have a private at 4 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I went into the room over there and I noticed